All right. Aurora. Aurora Borealis. We did the whole Orn thing with the music, the guitar thing. That was pretty cool. Uh, she's a bunny. Looks like Zaya. Let's see what's up.
Aurora is a Vastayan bunny mage that
Okay.
has stealth, plenty of wall hopping skills, free hit passive,
Oh
and a pretty
shit.
crazy ultimate. In today's video,
Oh
I'll show you
shit.
her abilities,
Oh no.
gameplay,
Oh
I'll show
no.
you the proof
Oh
of
no. 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 What was that? Oh my lord. What did I just notice? See? Alright, I feel bad. I feel bad for the balancing team. I feel bad for the balancing team because Riot, like the balancing team versus the creative team, these guys are on military grade ecstasy, man. They're like, guys, we need to create a champion that is so different from everything else. And these guys are drinking water and eating their beans, you know, they're trying to keep the game together. These releases are getting wilder. All right. Open-minded. Let's see. Bunny Mage unlocks a window to the spirit realm, which sends out a blast of spirit magic, dealing magic damage in an area, slowing them by 80%, decaying over 1 second. The force of blast knocks Bunny Mage back slightly. All right. This is in an area. So there's AoE. It's AoE and you jump back. That's kind of crazy. The jump back, max health damage, 10%. Ooh. All right.
her spells, and a lot of testing that I was able to do when Riot invited me to LA to check her out. Thanks to this, I'll be able to explain her kit.
Wait, she could just TP, so she makes an area
Riot
and she can just TP within
for
it.
7 years. She's bringing diversity to League of Legends through the representation of autism. She can see the veil between spirit and material realms.
Okay.
She is a Freljordian witch. She is intended to be viable both mid and top lane, but it's also possible she will be viable in other roles, although that isn't a very high priority. Let's get straight to her abilities.
Alright.
Aurora's passive is called Spirit.
Wayward spirits are drawn to Aurora. If Aurora damages an enemy 3 times with its spells and attacks, she perform an exorcism. Alright. Dealing 6% of the enemy's maximum health as magic damage and freeing a spirit that will empower her healing. Her healing? It will empower her healing her. Will empower her healing her for 17 every second and entering spirit mode, getting 8% move speed for 3 seconds. For every legendary spirit following Aurora, bonus move speed is increased by 5%. Whoa. Okay. Alright.
Duration.
Bro, the move speed has an AP scaling. That's kind of wild.
Wayward spirits are drawn to Aurora. If she damages an enemy, percentage of enemy max health as magic damage, and also
basic attack scaling apply it too?
Every second, and she will also enter spirit mode, gaining percentage movement speed for 3 seconds.
Wow.
Every additional spirit that follows Aurora will
so it's just ranged echo on crack.
Further increase her bonus movement speed by 5%. Passive damage is 6% max HP.
How does she represent autism? Isn't autism such a wide spectrum?
And it also scales with AP. Each 100 AP
I'm curious how they've done that.
Enemy max HP damage, and the movement speed part of her passive also scales with AP. 3% bonus movement
This will get ridiculous fast, I think.
Speed per each 100 AP she has. As far as I know, this passive can only be stacked on champions and epic monsters. As you probably noticed, Aurora's passive is pretty stacked. It's a very important part of her kit. Aurora's Q is called Twofold Hex. She fires a blast of cursed energy in a direction, dealing magic damage to enemies hit and marking them with spirit energy. This ability overall is similar to
what is this AP scaling? 40%, 80%. Bunny Mage fires a blast of cursed energy in a direction, dealing magic damage to enemies hit and marking them with spirit energy. It's enemies, plural. So you can hit multiple people. Bunny Mage ends the curse, drawing back in the spirit energy to herself, dealing up to 218 magic damage to enemies passed through based on the missing health. Whoa.
And marking them with spirit energy. This ability overall is similar to Ari's Q, but has a recast that is similar to Zaya E. Aurora can recast this ability to end the curse, Draw back the spirit energy
What? The AP scaling is way too insane, and it hits multiple people. All right, Riot Games, please tone down the AP scaling right now, bro. I can tell you, this is way too much. It's a 6-second cooldown spell with this AP scaling. Are you mad? Like you have to. This is not okay, bro. There's no penalty on minions either. There has to be a penalty for minions. This is an AoE spell with 120% AP scaling that does multiple hits. Multiple hits, man. Nah.
dealing magic damage to enemies hit.
This already, I'm telling you, this needs to do less damage to minions. The scaling needs to go down a shit ton.
Marking them with spirit energy. This ability overall is similar to Ari's Q, but has a recast that is similar to Zaya E. Aurora can recast.
Look, it does multiple damage on same. It does multiple damage. Look, it does multiple.
Spirit energy to herself.
That's crazy.
Deal up to double the damage of.
Like it's a cool spell, but the numbers right now are not making sense. I'm telling you that much. Probably they will nerf it.
Outgoing Q, but this is based on the missing health of enemies. So ideally, you want to use it as an execute. First part of her Q is scaling. So
you can put it on minions!
Q, but this is based on the missing health of enemies. So ideally, you want
you can put it on minions. Wow.
to use it as an execute. First part of her Q is scaling with 30% AP, and second part of it is scaling with up to 80% AP. Remember that her Q applies passive, so with Q itself, you can already have 2 stacks of passive
There are two stacks of passive for one. Wow.
applied to the enemy. This ability is definitely Aurora's bread and butter and her primary source of damage. The cooldown of this ability is from 8 to 6 seconds. Aurora's W is called Across the Veil. She bunny hops in the direction. Upon landing, she becomes invisible for 1.4 seconds at rank 1.
It's a fucking pixie dragon. It's a fucking fairy dragon from Warcraft 3, man. It's a dash and an invis. So how are we supposed to gank this champion? With 2 dashes. She one-shots waves so far, and she has 2 dashes. Is what we know so far. Alright.
Up to 2 seconds at rank 5 of this ability. She can move freely in that stealth, similarly to Shaco in his Q. This ability also makes her enter spirit mode, so she gets an extra movement speed.
Wow.
Takedowns on enemies within 3 seconds
what the fuck
of
is
damaging
happening?
them also makes this ability refresh. With this, you can be a pretty big nuisance in a teamfight. Stealth in,
It gives
get a
it's
kill or assist,
resets.
stealth in again, get another kill, stealth in again. Just like I'm trying here with dummies. Don't worry, your screen is not gonna be that dark, it was just me messing in practice tool. It's gonna be just like in another clips that you saw. Remember that this ability allows you to jump over walls.
Wow.
You can easily jump a Baron wall, or for example this wall near the river opposite to the dragon. Definitely worth learning those jumps. This ability has a cooldown of 18 seconds, down to 14 seconds when it is maxed.
Okay, so this is gonna be the last max spell probably. I think just like as a reset to the fight, I think this is pretty huge. You know, you have 2 jumps. This is kind of crazy to me. This is so far the kit seems insanity.
Aurora's E is called the Weirding. She unlocks
The
a window to
Weirding.
Spirit Realm, which sends out a blast of spirit magic, dealing magic damage in an area and slowing enemies by 80%, decaying over 1 second. The force of this ability also knocks Aurora back, similarly to Graves' ult. This ability also applies passive. With this ability you can
It
jump
hits all.
over
It
some
hits
of the
all.
shortest walls on Summoner's Rift.
It hits
The
all.
cooldown is 15 seconds at rank 1 and it goes down to 11 seconds at rank 5. And then finally, we have Aurora's ult.
Bunny Mage unlocks a rift to the spirit realm, sending out a pulse of spirit energy that deals 218 80% magic damage and slows enemies hit by 30%. The area merges with the spirit land for 3 seconds, giving Bunny Mage an empowered spirit mode, doubling her bonuses while she's in it, and allowing her to travel from one of the area to the other by crossing the threshold. Honestly, this is pretty fucking cool. This is pretty fucking cool. This is a fucking... I think this is pretty fucking cool. It might be bullshit, but it's a very, it's fucking Portal, bro. It's fucking Portal. That's really, really cool. That's really, really cool. Any enemies attempting to cross the threshold are slowed by 75% for 1.5 seconds after being pushed back toward the center of the area. What's the duration? 3 seconds. Or 2 seconds. Wait, any enemies attempting to cross the area threshold are slowed by 75% for 1.5 seconds after being pushed back toward the center of the area. No. But what is... Oh, duration is 3 to 3.54. Okay, so you can't leave. Alright, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. You can't leave. I thought you could leave. You can't leave? I thought it would be like Irelia ult. Okay, it's bullshit. You can't leave.
Called Between Worlds. She unlocks a rift to the spirit realm, sending a pulse of
The land in between.
that does magic damage and slows enemies hit by 30% for 2 seconds. This area merges with the spirit realm for 3 seconds, giving Aurora an empowered spirit mode, doubling her bonuses while she's inside of it and allowing her to travel from one end to the other by walking into its wall. You can travel from one end to the other multiple times in one cast. When Aurora travels from one side to the other, she cannot be targeted, and also she cannot use any spells. Oh, and she is also unstoppable during the casting part of Ultimate. Any enemies that attempt to cross this threshold are going to be pushed back toward the center of the area and slowed by 75% for 1.5 seconds after being pushed. What is very important is that as an enemy...
Nah. Look at this range.
Very
Look at that range. Look at that range. And she's untargetable. Nah. Wow. She's untargetable and look at this range.
For 1.5 seconds after being pushed. What is very important is that as an enemy, you cannot walk out of this ability. You can flash out of it, or you can get out of it by using a blink, like Ezreal's E. Normal dashes will not allow you to get out of this ability. Aurora cannot leave it herself, even if she uses
because at
her
least you
W.
can flash out of it.
That being said, she can recast this ability to cancel it, similarly to Jarvan ult. What's very important about this ability is its cast time. Why is it so important? If you cast this but then immediately walk outside of it, you are likely going to get out before the area is spawned, and this will result in an automatic cancel, so be careful when you use this ability when you are close to the edge of it. The duration of ult is 3, 3.5 and 4 seconds for levels 6, 11 and 16 respectively.
How many furries are there in the world?
Abilities 140 seconds at rank 1, 120 seconds at rank 2 and 100 seconds at rank 3. Of course I wouldn't be myself if I didn't try to bug this ability. I tried to use it in the base,
I was trying to...
hoping I can maybe glitch out outside of the map, but didn't get much luck there.
Millions?
Now let's talk a bit more about her gameplay, items, etc. Aurora abilities use plenty of mana, 60, 80, 80 and 100 respectively. So rushing a mana item definitely seems like a solid idea. For items, you most likely want to go for a typical burst mage build, like Ludens, Rabadons and Zhonya's. For runes, we were suggested to try Electrocute for extra damage or Phase Rush to further increase Aurora's already high mobility. In terms of mobility, She can be somewhat compared to Lilia.
The issue with champions like this, right? The reason I say it's going to be a balancing nightmare is because it will be so hard to make this champion viable. I feel like that's like the biggest challenge. At least, yeah, I don't know. It's like the main thing that I'm looking at is that this will be frustrating to play against. That's what I see right away.
But she also has stealth and more dashes. Speaking of dashes, learning which walls you can pass over with your W, E and Alt is gonna be very important. Proper positioning is gonna be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, Yumi Aurora does not look normal.
She can output a lot of damage. Her basic combo is often going to be Q, E, Q. It's important to use your first Q before E, because after you use your E, you are knocked back. So if you did EQQ instead, it would be harder to reach your enemies with Q. Your second part of Q pulls are not range limited. In theory, you can even do Q into teleport into Q. The more units you hit with your first part of Q, the more damage you can deal on its way back. It's important to try to hit as many units as possible to maximize your damage. Aurora can also get very high movement
Something
speed,
that
so she might be pretty annoying.
I want to know, like her attack range.
Catching her might be hard, but at least she is a
because can't you play her as fucking? Can't you just play her as like
one of her worst
some
enemies.
of the basic attacks?
If you have any questions regarding Aurora, feel free to ask. It is possible I might already be able to answer them.
Because it looks
Let me
pretty
know what
high.
you think about her. Thanks for watching. And
Of
have a nice
500,
day.
yeah, that's pretty low then. That's pretty low. All right. Okay. Generational rant. Look at fucking Dom's face.
I think we got some drama, bro. Why type that in? What do I just don't care? Like they just do not care about this type of stuff.
All right,
Like
fine.
you just